today our presentation is about one of the most important periods in Kazakhstan history, which is called the industrialization. This process, which began during the Soviet era, greatly changed the country's economy and society. But what was it really like and what results did it bring? Was it a complete success or a difficult and mixed experience? Our main question for this presentation is, how far was Kazakhstan's industrialization focused on raw materials and what were its main social consequences? To explore this topic better, we reviewed several important studies. For example, historians such as Kozubayev in his book Kazakhstan, the Arsenal of the Front describes the importance of industrialization during the war. And Galiyev's works Industrialization of Kazakhstan in the 1920s and 1930s describes the political and economic aspects of this process. Together, these sources helps us to create a more analytic view of this subject.
Our analysis method is based on comparison. We will compare two main periods of industrialization in Kazakhstan. First wave from 1930s to 1950s. The focus was on mining and heavy industry. This was part of the larger economic plan for the whole USSR. Second wave, the post-industrial era, from 2000s to now. This is the policy of industrial and innovative development. Now that Kazakhstan is an independent country, we will look for similarities. For example, both use natural resources, and differences like their goals, how they were managed, and social effects. This will help us do more than just list facts. It will allow us to find the deeper patterns and cycles in Kazakhstan's economic development.
I look back, document analysis to understand the spirit and goals of the first wave of industrialization. We analyze the primary source, the resolution of the Council of People's Commissars of the USSR of March 15, 1931, on the construction of the Balkhash copper smelter. This document is not just a technical assignment, it is a political manifesto. It speaks of a radical transformation of a backward region, reflecting the imperial approach of the center. It mentions tight deadlines and the mobilization of resources from across the Union, which is characteristic of a common economy. Analysis of this document directly answers our research question. Industrialization was planned from the outset as a catch-up and raw materials based.
So let's look at the data. According to historical and modern statistics, the share of extractive industries in Kazakhstan's total industrial output was about 16% in 1940 and remains around 70% today. This shows that both Soviet and modern industrialization kept resource budgets in focus.
We visited a military museum to find connection between industrialization and the defense capability. Pay attention to this exhibit, a mock-up of Kaz's metallurgy plant and a photograph of home front workers from the Great Patriot War. The importance of these objects in the context of our topic is enormous. They confirm that the industrial base established in the 1930s allowed Kazakhstan to become a real arsenal of the front. Factories built during the first industrialization worked directly for victory production, tanks, shells, and the other weapons. This is another important feature, the militarized nature of the industrial breakdown.
So, let's turn to our research question. Our analysis allows us to make the following conclusions.
First, industrialization in Kazakhstan was indeed catch-up and raw material based. This is confirmed by analysis of the document on the construction of the Balkhash plant and a graph showing the dominance of the extractive.
Even though technologies has advanced, the economy still relies heavily on oil, gas and metals, proving that Kazakhstan's industrial model remains largely catch-up and raw materials oriented.
Thirdly, a comparative analysis has shown that modern industrial policy is trying to overcome dependence on raw materials, but in facing challenges inherited from the Soviet model.